right. So we'll jump into, we're doing routines and again, sleep routine, all the good thing. I'm gonna let you kick it off because you have routines. I suffer.
Yes. So I try my best to have routines. I feel like that just works best with our family. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about routines. This is our third episode. So I'm going to kind of go into like our routine. So in the mornings between 6 and 7, Willow usually gets up. Natalie sleeps in a little bit later. I just usually let her sleep. So we get up obviously I change Willow, get her, I don't get her dressed for the day because obviously breakfast is going to be messy and there's no point in it. So we get up, we eat some breakfast, we watch Elmo because that's what she's into right now. And then we play for a little bit. I get her dressed and ready for the day. And then I try to make her take 2 naps. She's straying away from that. So I'm trying to push now to only do 1 nap. She's not a sleeper. Has never been a sleeper. I'm glad that I ended up being able to just put her down in her bed and her sleep, throughout the night because that was a struggle for a little bit. But she usually goes down it's usually around 9 o'clock. And then that's when I, usually do the dishes or fold some laundry, or I try to do something. Now, some days I just sit on the couch. Most days I probably sit on the couch because, it's just like waking up early, you need a break, and watching, even watching your own kids is a chore. And she usually gets up, if she goes to bed around 8:39, she usually gets up around 11:30-ish. So we usually do lunch and play for a little bit more, and then she usually takes another nap around 1 or 2, just depending on how because you can tell when your kids are getting cranky and they're tired. I just kind of let her gauge where she's at with the second nap. And like I said, most of the time she just lays down in her bed and she'll roll around and toss and turn, and that's pretty much all she does. But like in the mornings for me, I try to wake up and I try to do my moisturizer. I try to at least wash my face, brush my teeth, all of that stuff. And then I feel like I'm pretty set for the rest of the day because I usually just throw on a t-shirt and leggings or shorts, and that's just my outfit of the day, so I don't have to worry about it. But and then for like nighttime, usually we do dinner. I try to do dinner between 5 and 5:30 because Willow, by the time 6 o'clock rolls around, she wants to be in bath and she wants to be in bed. Mm-hmm. She is very, very set with the 6 o'clock. So I usually do dinner and then bath time shortly after, and then I pull up like read aloud books, which Willow likes, but she likes the animation. So here lately I've been doing these little kid songs. So I don't know if you've ever heard like the spaghetti song, or like what is another one? She likes Wonky Donkey. That's her favorite. And the video is quite creepy, but she likes it. So we do 3 of those. Do what?
We don't question it. Just
right. We usually do about 3 of those, and then I lay her down, put her sound on, tell her good night, and then that's it. And then usually I sit down and Natalie and I will do something before she goes to bed. And I usually tell Natalie good night around 8:30, and I know that she's not going to go to sleep, but I'm like, get you something to do, whether it be coloring or play with your leg. She loves Legos, so that's usually what she does, or some kind of slime. Sit down in your bed, play, calm down, watch you a movie, and then go to sleep.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much my routine.
Okay.
What I try to stick with.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty good one. I mean, I get it, especially during summer. Like, I mean, they'll start the morning slow and then kind of on their own term, especially for Willow. I get the routine thing, like with her wanting to be at 6, because for me, I guess it's hard to have routines because, like with Charlotte, she's on and off every other week. So like I don't know. It's like one week I have one routine and then she's gone. And so then
Mm-hmm.
routine's a little bit different. And then she comes,
Yes.
we kind of get the hang of it by like the third day again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just, I don't know. It's so different because like with the baby, a newborn baby, he's not a newborn anymore, but he's a newborn in my book.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it until he's 6 months. He's a newborn.
I mean,
He wants to sleep later,
yes.
you know, like sleep
Mm-hmm.
late mornings. Like Charlotte is a early bird gets the worm, waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, coming in there. And then that throws me off because I try to wake up by 6 o'clock in the morning. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
I like to wake up by 6. I'm up before everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I can make away from brother for about an hour, and then he usually wakes himself up because he realizes mom's not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They're squirming around, you know, and then you hear him, and I go get him, change his diaper and all that. But in my time span, I've gotten to drink my coffee by myself.
Yes.
I've gotten to be on my Instagram, my social media, whatever it is, you know, doing my work, because
Mm-hmm.
there's the TikTok trend going around where we're gaining 10K followers. So I need to interact. I need to engage. I need
Right.
to book. I got to make posts on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook because life
Mm-hmm.
as a creator, like you've got to show up to be one.
Right.
So just,
I know I need to get better. I will get better. I promise.
hey, it's a learning thing. It's learning about
Yes.
the content, you know, and having those. It's hard. It's hard to balance it all. Like that's why I feel so overstimulated today. I feel like I'm being pulled in so many ways because all these platforms that I'm trying to be present on and, you know, show up for, and I'm trying to be like a true friend to these people and be present, and then I'm trying to be there for my kids, and I'm trying to take care of myself, and I'm just like, I feel overwhelmed today.
Oh yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's just so, but it's okay.
And right.
It's gonna be okay. But then, you know, in that hour time too, I've started doing a Bible study, and so I can do Bible study. It's not like that when Charlotte Rose is here. She wakes up 6 o'clock bright and early. She's at my bed waking me up, and I'm like,
right.
So it's just go. Like once the kids wake, have a slow wake up. It's like it's go point until they go to bed.
Yes.
But Jude, I mean, and that's what, like with the newborn, you know, the first month there is no routine. There is, in my case, there is none. Like I didn't know what to expect. I'm learning this baby. You know, he's been on the inside of me doing whatever he wanted to do whenever he wanted to do it. And there's a lot of cluster feeding in that 1 month start. Then come like right now we're going on 4 months. It feels like come month 2, month 3, a routine, you kind of start to know what to expect of your baby.
And I think by 6 months, because I didn't have a schedule really either, because it was so chaotic. And like you said, it's like every hour they want to feed. So we didn't have a good set routine or just a base of it until Willow hit about 6 months.
Yeah.
And then even then, 6 months with Willow was around Christmas time. So whenever we did get into a routine, we were quickly out of our routine. And it's so easy to get out of your routine. So easy. And then it's hard to get back into the routine that you want it to be in, because it's just the waking up early, and then, you know, like us, our kids, you know, go away for a week and then they come back, and then you're just kind of like, oh, like it's so hard. But it's one of those things, like you got to be motivated too, and if you're not motivated, it's not there.
No,
it's not. So it's just, it takes time to do it. It really does.
Yeah, you got to enjoy what you're gonna do, you know. Like it can't feel like 100% of a chore, or you're just gonna end up sleeping later. Like and some days I do sleep later. Like today was that day. Today our routine is totally non-existent. I haven't even washed my face today. Like non-existent, out the window. This is mom life. Some days I'm on, some days there's no point in sight.
Well, I mean, get exhausted, you know.
We did a lot and everything yesterday, and we were all out late, and it just you know, just I need to today. It feels like we're gonna go to the pool and have some fun here in a few hours, and just decompress for today. It's a Sunday around here today. But I feel like with him, I am starting to get a routine going a little. Like I might not follow it 100%, but I know what to expect of him. You know what I mean? I know when his poop is going to be in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
first diaper poop's gonna come. Like if he hasn't had his poop by 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, huh, what's going on? Like we usually
Right, exactly.
10 o'clock in the morning, you know, like that's the routine. And then we usually wake up about 7. By 9, we're going back to sleep. And you know what I mean? Like I can just time that out. Throughout the rest of the day, he's still a heavy napper. He's 3 months. So Willow naps a day. He's taking like 4 to 6 a day. So a lot of open windows where he's awake, but they're only like an hour, honestly. And, you know, he'll do a little bit of tummy time here and there and chat about it and talk to us and stuff and hang out and laugh. And that's so fun seeing him develop like that personality, that laughter. And that's always a fun part. But yeah, today our routine's totally off. Like he should really be asleep right now. But he had a nap today because we slept in till like 9. So he woke up whenever he would originally been going back to sleep. And I walk my dogs. I do that as my routine. We usually try to get our morning walks in by like 7. He'll go to sleep on that little walk because he's got the good life and he's just strapped up. And he'll take a little nap until we get home. And then we have lunch. And I try to wash my face. I usually wash my face it's probably about 9 o'clock. That's the nap window he has. I start washing my face. I've done my exercise by then and everything, you know, sweat, time to kind of bring life again. And I done. And then he's waking up and he's got his poop diaper for me. And so then he'll down for another nap about noon, and I'll hit my clothes, my outfit for the day. That's whenever I'll get myself together there. And so it's literally like 2 o'clock before I'm ready for the day.
Yeah. I mean, that's the life with a newborn though.
It is. And I like to do that though. You know, I like to get makeup on. I like to get my clothes on. So it takes me until 2. I might take my makeup off 4 hours later, but like, it's what I like to do. And I think that you have to give to yourself before you can just give to your kids, or you're going to be spending your kids. You might show up for them, but are you going to be your best version of yourself for them? I don't know. I used to be just in a fog, felt like, and now it feels like I'm more present whenever I'm more intentional, I guess I'm doing. We might not have a lot of time together. I might take some time for myself. You know, Charlotte's here 1 week, gone another week, but like, I just try to be more intentional for like an hour out of the day. We're going to do this. And like, you know, you got my attention. And whenever brother gets a little older, I feel like that will be a little better too. And like being able to fully give myself to her, like we're sleeping, you know, doing his own thing or something where right now they just need you so much.
Yes.
Like cuddle time.
And it's hard too. It's really, really hard. I know, like Natalie really likes to play goldfish. So that's what we would do. Even if Willow was awake, like that's one thing we'll do. We're really big into board games too. So we'll try whenever she was a little bit younger. It was a lot easier, but now she's up and mobile and moving. So it's like, can't really do that now because she wants to play too. And she wants to grab everything. And you just, I don't know. That's why I try, like, obviously we watch movies and stuff throughout the day and all that stuff, but I wait until I put Willow down for bed before I put an hour or 2 fully my attention just on Natalie, because it's just what works for us. It's just easier for us.
Right. Yeah. You have Willow who sleeps. She sleeps by herself. Like you put her down, sleeps. I've had 2 kids who are very, they need that touch to know they can sleep. It's like if I leave the bed early in the morning, you know, it's like an hour window max. And he's like rooting, looking for me, like, where are you at? And that's pro and con of, I think, co-sleeping at night and being a feeding mom is they have access to it at all times. Like I am like literal pacifiers pretty much, which gives me my sanity through the PM time, you know, like I get to, but he sleeps all night long. He doesn't even wake up. Like we didn't sleep super great the other night and I was up at like 2 a.m. And usually he doesn't wake me up. Like he finds his way. He does his thing, you know, like he doesn't do throughout the night until.
Hold on. You froze. Oh,
Yeah, I had a call come through. But about 5, 6 in the morning, he'll usually wake me up, and that's like a true, like, okay, I'm ready to eat, but I'm gonna go back to sleep. You know what I mean? Like 5, it usually comes, and then 6, I'll sneak out. But like I woke up at 2 in the morning, and I was like, okay, I can go back to sleep really. So I was kind of watching to see how he would sleep. You know what I mean? Because I never really know how he sleeps. That kid did not wake up not one time. And I was up
Yep.
until about 4 in the morning. Did not wake up, snoozed it out. I was like, okay, so we're sleeping through the night. Like I
Yeah.
see that happening, which is a good thing. But if I wasn't right there, that snuggle, that kid would be awake. He would be awake in no time. I can get him to sleep in his swing, but he's super sound sensitive. So during nap time, if we're not like extremely quiet, he's waking up. Like if I'm talking, if he was asleep right now and we were talking, I would have woke him up 20 minutes ago. Like, yeah, just would have happened. It's funniest. I'm like, you need your sleep, and he'll be so fussy, look so tired. But I don't know. So I can see where the 6 months will probably get better. I can see what you're saying. And I can't really remember it with Charlotte. I don't know if you feel like that, but like, I just, like, there's some things I remember if I think hard enough, or if I see like a picture come up and that memory comes into my head. But it's like, I couldn't time things. I couldn't think about it and be like, oh yeah, I know it got better at this point. And you know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, and we were such in different mindsets, you know, back then, you know, having a kid and having even 5 years difference is a lot. Because I mean, I don't remember what I did 5 years ago, especially routine wise. Like I have no idea. I don't think I even had one with Natalie, to be honest with you.
Non-existent.
I mean, I was freshly 20 years old. I had no clue what I was doing, none at all. So yeah, no, I did not. I don't think. I mean, I really can't remember if I had one or not with Natalie.
I know I didn't, girl. I did not. I was 21. Charlotte all to herself. I let her sleep whenever she wanted to. I let her eat whenever she wanted to. I held her all the time. I had nothing to do. Like I held her all the time. And anytime I did put her down and she did sleep for more than like 5 minutes when she was laying down by herself, I would like have to go peek in to make sure she was still breathing.
Well, no, because back then, like we didn't have the monitors that we do now that you can see them.
Yeah.
So it's not like it definitely was a lot easier with Willow, but like with Natalie, I ended up having to like rock her to sleep too. So it was like you have to rock them to sleep, and then you have to quietly put them down. But if you don't put them down the right way, they will wake up, and then you have to do it all over again, and then that puts you further behind in your day. It's just I just have realized every child is different, and every situation and stage of life that you're in is different. And it's just something that, you know, it just comes with time. It really does. It comes with time, and it comes with being like persistent. Like that's just
negotiables. And then like, and you know, just making room for days to forgive yourself for just a relax. Like a relaxed day, a reset day. Like every day you can't show up and be 100% on your game. Like today we didn't hit this, you know, or whatever. I didn't do this, or maybe just if it is a non-negotiable 100%, you're like, no, I'm going to do this. Then just make room for it. Might be later in the day than what you for on Sundays. Some occasions.
Yeah,
you gotta have.
There will be some days where I'm like, I'm not feeling doing the dishes or cleaning this house. So I'll wait until both the girls are down and Chandler leaves for work. And then I'll be like, okay, I'm going to clean this, and I'm going to stay up until this time. And then I'm just going to go to bed later. And those days I usually wake up later too, just to give myself a little bit of a break, because it's a give and take kind of thing.
It is. It is. It's either, and I see some parents just wear themselves out with like waking up super early and then staying up super late. Like if I see a parent waking up at 3:30 in the morning and they're staying up till 10, I'm like, whoa, where is sleep? Like, I mean, in the first month, I know like the first month with a baby, you're kind of sleeping like that. Maybe even staying up till midnight and then waking up at like, you know, 4 or 5 in the morning, and that's when your day starts. And they say to take a nap with the baby, but it's harder. It's easier said than done. Especially when you have older kids, because you need to be there for them, like older, but not old enough to fully sustain themselves. Like they can't
Right.
kill themselves. Like you have to be that parent.
Mm-hmm.
So easier said than done sometimes. It depends on the situation. With Charlotte, I took a lot of naps with her. I did. She was my only one. I didn't have to feed her, anyone else. I forgot to feed myself half the time, right?
Right.
Like we slept a lot. With Jude, though, he doesn't get a lot of contact naps. Like we might start off contact napping, but then I end up rotating him to his swing and he'll finish out his nap period because that's whenever I can get sister what she needs, make sure she's good, and I'm super grateful though that Charlotte has learned how to like self-play. She
Yes.
learned that very well, and I think I tried to get her to start getting used to that. Like whenever I was in my third trimester, because I was working, third trimester, you're tired. You don't have a lot to give at that point. And so I was letting her know, like, please start playing with Barbie dolls and stuff. Like these are your. So she did really learn that then because, well, she's going on 6. She was for 4 years, pretty much, right? She was her. She had me to her full disposal, and I do have to play Barbie so with her because I feel like
you're better than me.
If not,
you're better than me because I will tell Natalie, because I don't know, anytime that I've played Barbies with Natalie, she's not very nice. So I told her like years ago, I was like, listen, I'm not a Barbie playing parent.
I get it.
Like, give me something. Like, I've got to, like, if you want to color or you want to paint or you want to sit down and play a board game, do a puzzle, I'm all for that. I guess my imagination is not there, so it's hard for me to play imaginative like that. So that's just, I don't know. If you don't play Barbies with your kids, it's not a bad thing, and if you do, it's a great thing. You know what I'm saying?
It is. It's just, I get it. I don't like the imagination part either. I would rather color and stuff too, but I think because Charlotte's a little younger than Natalie, she doesn't really have the patience. Like she does want to color sometimes, but it's not, it's not very often. She wants to do more. She's got to be moving constantly. There's got to be something going on. So it's got to be interactive play that her, and I'm not a tag mom. I'm not a hide and seek mom. Sometimes she gets that out of me. But around this apartment, there's just not enough space. Like I get so overstimulated with those games. So that's kind of my meeting in the middle of making sure I'm getting interactive play in with my daughter. But I don't know.
It's give and take. It's give and take. And they will appreciate you just being there whenever they're older. Like you don't even necessarily have to sit down for every single second. And I tell Natalie that too. Like, I don't have to entertain you every single second. Like you need to learn how to, go in your room. You can play with your Barbies on your own or your baby dolls. And she's kind of out of that stage now. Playing with baby dolls and stuff like that. She usually does with Willow now. So that's been great. But Natalie I ended up getting bagfuls of Barbie stuff out of Natalie's room because there was so much and she just didn't play with it. So now, I mean, we've moved on to, like I said, Legos a while ago. Legos are like her thing now. And she'll come to me and she'll be like, look what I made. And I'm like, you made a whole house, dude. That's cool. Like that's the kind of stuff like I'm okay with sitting down and doing because there is no, like, you don't have to imagine anything. You just get to sit and do. And I don't know.
You kind of get to know all your, an imagination of what you want to create, and then you kind of, but it's different. It's not like play, like imaginative play of like scenes. And stuff. I get it. It's hard. It is. It's not like I have a time limit of how long my capacity can handle.
Just set a timer.
I promise. Like it's no more than 10 minutes. Like I be present and do my best, and then. And it's so hard for kids where when they get you, they don't really want to let you go. It's like, no more, mom. Like, I have no more to give. I'm sorry. And I've seen a lot of where women usually don't, like mom roles. I believe everybody has a role in the house and everything, mom, dad, all that stuff. And you see a lot now on Instagram, I think it's mainly been where I've seen it, where moms don't have, like, they're usually not the kids' preferred person to
Right.
play with.
Mhm.
But it's just not, it's not most of our strong suits. So like, don't feel bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
But their
Exactly.
dads come in usually. They want to do the rough housing. They want to do the
Mhm.
build a fort and stuff like that. Like, that's not my strong suit. Like, Charlotte asked me to build a fort, and I'm like, we can put a sheet over the couch.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you something that's going to save your life. You ready
Okay.
for this? I bought Natalie and Willow for Christmas this past year a fort couch. Okay.
Yeah.
It is too big, and I bought it off of Amazon. I don't even know how much it was. It wasn't super expensive, but it comes with two like mats you can fold in half, and they're like one is a little bit thicker than the other. It came with some little round pillow looking things, and it came, I don't even know what the size of the other ones are.
Yeah.
But you can make it into a couch, you can make it into a basketball hoop, you can make it into a fort, and Natalie and Willow love it.
That,
Love it. Do what?
that sounds so cool. It can be a basketball and everything. Basketball. That's
Yes. Well, the one that I was looking at is that's not the one that I got, but the one that I was looking at had actual balls that they were like fluffy balls. You could squish them, and because I think it's just memory foam that's in them. But yeah, it was so neat. There's so many different ones, and you can make so many different things out of them. I saw one that you could make a car out of, but they usually use it for a fort. So we'll usually put like Willow's pack and play like on its side, and we'll put one of them, one of the long mats on top of that, and then put a blanket over that, and it makes like the perfect fort. And then it's like less mess to clean up too, because they just fold in half and you just put them like wherever you want to store them at, and it makes for, it's awesome, let me tell you. And they love it. Even Willow now, she'll like climb over the little, I can't even explain to you what they are. It's just little foam. They almost look like triangles without the point on the top.
Yeah, I think I seen them at Walmart last year, and we had already gotten like all the Christmas stuff and everything. I seen
Mm-hmm.
the very end, and I was like, "Oh, that looks pretty cool." I was like, "I wonder if she would like that," but I didn't know for sure.
It was a good
So
investment.
yeah, I should probably look into it. Maybe this year we'll get something. We got birthdays and Christmas up right around the corner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fast, they come so fast. You know, that's one thing though. I think that really helps me with being a mom who tries to have some type of a routine,
Mm-hmm.
but no routine at the same time. Like,
Right.
I don't know. I kind of think life was meant to be lived that way too. Like, where you're just,
Yes.
going,
Mm-hmm. Right.
this stuff and all that. But
Right. That's why I try to have like a general outline of things. But if things don't always go, see, because I used to be that type of person where like everything had to be like on time, everything. And then I was just like, I can't do that. You can't do that with kids, you know, you just can't. So kind of had to like let that go and just be more relaxed. And, you know, I think another thing too is meal prepping helps tremendously, or even like, we usually just get stuff in bulk because we go to Sam's. So I usually plan out like, oh, this and this will be for lunch, this and this will be for dinner. So I can just go and grab those things and pop them in the air fryer or on the stove. And I don't have to worry about cooking a huge dinner because, I mean, the girls are really the only ones that, me and the girls are the only ones that eat our dinner because Chandler's usually sleeping. So that is what I found, a little bit of meal prepping, because I feel like I don't like to eat the same things over and over and over and over and over again. That's just not me. But
so do that
yes.
too. Like every week it's having the same things. Like,
yes, you got to kind of switch it up. I know we do a lot of like pancakes, but we do a lot of like variety of pancakes. So we'll do chocolate chip or banana, or, you know, we did blueberry and strawberry ones the other day, which were pretty good. But yeah, meal prepping for sure. It helps. I feel like it helps out tremendously because on those days that you're not feeling like you're 100% best, at least you know that you don't have to worry about food.
Right. Yeah, I struggle there. I kind of just wing, but lunch is always easy. Like, it's just, I know it's going to be something easy. Like, you have about 3 to choose from, and something that's going to take me no longer than 10 minutes to make.
Right.
I eat for lunch. I'm the leftover clear person. Like I clear out the house first, it seems like. And dinner, it's kind of, I don't know, there's so many of us. So dinner, I always get hesitant to plan ahead. And I really want to implement something that I think would help us. I do want to implement it, like, because we have dry erase boards. I want to like, okay, Monday we're having this, Tuesday we're having that. Like that's just set, you know, and then maybe Thursday, one kid gets to choose what we're having. Thursday, another kid gets to choose. And then maybe another day is like leftover day. We're clearing out the house of leftovers for like dinner. And I'm not cooking or, you know what I mean? I think that would be a super good, like, something, but I would actually have to show up and follow. And I think I would show up and follow through with it. Just sitting down, I need to sit down and plan and just get like, okay, these days are non-negotiables. This is what we're having. You get to choose and make everything to every week where they're having, you know, to eat what I say.
Right, exactly. One thing that my husband came up with, he was like, why don't you write down all of the meals that you can cook and just pick off of that for the week? So that's what we did for a little bit. Now I've kind of strayed away from that. Really since we moved into this house, because I lost my list of things. So I need to write them down again. And plus there's more things that I have found that I can cook now. So I think that's one of the things that we're going to try to start doing is sitting down and picking out like, oh, mom can make this, this, and this. And I kind of want this week, maybe next week, this. So yeah. It's definitely something I feel like will help us tremendously if we sit and kind of not plan it down to a T, but kind of plan it a little bit better than what we've got going right now. Because it's just
here, right? Like I'm winging it every day.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's really not. I mean, it's working so far. And I mean, the kids are going to be teenagers one day and everything, and we'll probably have a heck of a more, you know, strict schedule. Because they'll be and they'll be this, and so just I guess for now what we can, and just let the days roll.
Well, and another thing too that I have found to be helpful with routines is setting yourself up for success the night before. So like if like for my coffee, I can make my coffee and not turn it on, you know, the night before. And that really helps because the only thing I have to do is flip the switch when I go in there in the morning and it's already done for me. Or, you know, fixing my hair a certain way. That way, whenever I wake up, I can just put a brush through it or spray some water on it. Yeah. I've just recently found out that I have super curly hair. You can't tell it obviously right now, but I think in one of the other videos, it was just like wavy. Like I have found that I can just put my hair in braids and just take it out and it'll actually stay that way and it doesn't look bad. So that's really helped me out. Just setting myself up for success for the next day ahead of me has worked out so much in my favor.
For sure. That's why I sleep with a bonnet on my hair. I never know what I'm going to do with my hair. I never know. I just figure it out as the day goes. I can't. That's the hard part with me. I can't plan ahead because I might change my mind. Like I am a vibe person. I like to dress for the vibe, dress for how I'm feeling, and my hair follow with that vibe and my makeup and all that stuff. And I kind of just wing it throughout the day as I have like, I like to just have like visions of things of what I want it to be like. And there's my imaginative side. Like that's my I like that. I like that. And that's where me and Charlotte really bond too, is getting and expressing ourselves. Because she's so like me in that aspect of she will get herself all ready. And I'm like, you're taking away from me my moment. Like, I really enjoy getting you ready. I'm like, let me can I do your hair? She's like, no, I like it like this. And she's already put it out and everything, you know, put a bow in it, done her thing. I'm like, please. And she'll do her makeup by herself. And I'm like, your makeup, like
it doesn't get any better. It doesn't, because Natalie's in a stage now. She's like, oh mom, it's okay, I'll go fix my own hair, I'll just put it in a ponytail. And I'm like, but I can braid it for you. And she's like, no, I just want a plain ponytail. And I'm like, but I need to do something.
This is our time together where we connect. we find a way still. She'll come out and she'll show me her little outfit she has on. She's like, what do you think? I'm Barbie or something, and I'm just like, I love it. Like, I
Well,
love it.
and I'm very big on letting Natalie express her own self. So and I just say, make sure that it matches. So if she comes out with something that's kind of crazy, I'm like, oh, well, how do you feel about it? And she's like, well, I like it. And I'm like, okay, let's go to Walmart then. We'll go to Walmart in like a princess outfit. I don't even care.
Yeah.
Like,
1000%.
let her be herself.
1000%. Dress for how you want the day to feel. It
Yes.
doesn't matter where we're going. I mean, I might go overdressed to Walmart sometimes. 1000%. Self-expression, such a thing. I love it. Charlotte came out one day though. She did do her makeup, and I was in here doing my makeup because makeup's with my beauty business and everything. And so that's another reason I didn't used to be a big makeup girl. It didn't used to be. It's something that's came because I set that discipline for myself that I'm going to show up there every day doing it. And I just grew to like love it. And now I look forward to it and everything. I don't know. It's funny how you can actually find new passions about yourself just by your non-negotiables. But I was out here doing my makeup one day, and she came out and she had like blush, and I mean, it wasn't blended in. It was just like lines. And I was like, okay. I was like, okay, girl. I was like, you look like a tiger. And she was so mad at me. And I was like, but I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, you have to.
You just gotta blend it out.
Right, exactly. You have to be honest with them too, because you want them to feel like themselves, obviously, but you also want them to be able to trust you and come to you and be like, hey, does this dress make me look, whatever? And you're like, I think it's a little too low cut for you right now, but let's go try something different. Or hey, girlfriend, let me show you how to blend that in so it will look a little bit better the next time. So that was one thing with Natalie, me going into beauty school. She was very, very, even I think she was 3 whenever I like really dove into it the second time around. And she was all into it. We did makeup and we did hair and we did all this stuff. And that was one thing that I really enjoyed, sitting down with her and kind of teaching her. But now at this point, she's like, Mom, you don't know anything. I know everything. So now it's so hard to be like, we got to blend that out a little bit more, sister. And she's like, no, I think it's fun. And I'm like, okay.
Debatable. Yeah. Like, I'll literally just do my makeup, and Charlotte will sit here and do her makeup sometimes. And I'm just, kind reminder, be sure that your eyes are, and just make sure you're in front of a mirror pretty much.
Well, there's ways to soft criticize, and there's ways to not. And I think that's very important for you not to be like, what are you doing? And that's one of the things, like, as a mother, like, I never wanted to do. So yeah, it's just, you got to find the happy medium. You got to be able to give them the tools that they're going to need later on in life, because good and well that she's going to look back at one of those pictures and be like, Mom, why did you let me go out looking like that? And you'll be like, girlfriend, I didn't let you. You had no choice.
And there's probably going to be some like that, right? Because I mean, makeup, I don't know. I see myself whenever I look back at some pictures my mom has of me, and I'm like, man, like, you could have done something. Homegirl had her hair down in her eyes and everything, Mom. Like, what's going on? But at the end of the day, you're 5, you're 6, whatever. You're running around, you're having a good time. Like, of course you're gonna look a hot mess.
I look back at some pictures and I'm like, the bangs.
That was me. But were they short? Were they just short? Is that what you're?
So no, they weren't short. Sometimes they were uneven, but thankfully my grandma, she's the one that usually cut my hair. She was a cosmetologist as well. So she would cut my hair, but there were some times where I look, and I guess it's just the way that I had them styled. They just looked uneven. And yeah, so I never had to worry about short bangs. There was one time where I did cut my own hair, and I'm sure that was probably a real great thing to see. But yeah, no, it's just because we ended up, back in the day, it was the straight across bubble bangs. You know what I'm saying? And then we went from that to not really any bangs to the swoop bangs. And we all lived through the swoop bangs stage of our life. At least I did. And it's just, it's those that kind of things that you look back on and you're like, oh, you had to live through it. You had to be there to really understand why we were looking like that back in the day.
Yeah, no, I went through the phase of curly hair and then straight bangs. And I'm like, no, like
Yep.
either or. Come on, we can't be. No, we got to go one way or the. No, my like 5-year-old pictures though, like they weren't like, I didn't have bangs really ever. They just had my hair all one length and it was just curly. But I always had a stinking headband in, and I was rough and I was playing and I was having fun, and my headband would just do this like like it would come down here, and it'd be more like whatever that's called,
Wet
like
band.
style. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You just put my hair in a ponytail or gave me like some twisty something to keep it out of my face and get the headband gone.
Right. Well, you have to think, like, back in the day, like, our parents didn't know how to fix our hair because they didn't know how to fix their own hair other than putting rollers in it.
Yeah, and
you know,
my mom did not know how to fix my hair because I'm biracial and she's white, and there's like I had curly hair. My dad wasn't really around, like he was around and then he was kind of gone, but
right.
She winged it, she had she knew to hydrate my hair. That was all she really knew to do.
Well,
and then
and that's good.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some that don't, and it's just educate yourself. It doesn't take
back then.
Right.
It was hard knowing how to do a
Right.
virus. There wasn't a lot of YouTube
That's
videos.
What
like now
I was fixing to say.
Yeah, now you go there and you're like cute toddler hairstyles for curly hair. All these little cute, hacks of just using some little handy dandy rubber bands.
Pinterest.
Yeah.
Pinterest is my favorite place.
All the things. They don't have that. They might have.
Right.
They just were, my mom's just not very technology literate. Not very strong there. Just not a thing.
Well, Still. and I mean, it just really, I mean, unless you opened up a magazine, sorry, I've got a hair like somewhere on my face and I can't find it. but I mean, back then the only thing they could really do was open up a magazine, or watch it on TV, and then you watch it on TV and it's gone in a few seconds unless you record it, and then you're having to play and rewind, and then it was a big mess. But I mean, I'm thankful now that we do have YouTube. YouTube is where I learned how to braid my own hair, French braid it. Yeah, I mean, and luckily I had a little sister too, so I was able to kind of practice on her. But yeah, I mean, we've come a long way. Yeah. We've come a long way.
I agree. A lot of parents are learning, or even just like the faux style French braiding, like there's there's so many ways to learn. And yeah, it was harder because like you said magazines, and I had this instant flashback of us like Walmart having the whole aisle that just had magazines.
Oh my gosh. I don't remember if you and I were friends at that point in my life where I would cut or just rip them out, just pictures of like Zac Efron and the High School Musical cast and like Hannah Montana just plastered all over my walls. Like that's a blast from the past.
Yeah, it is.
For sure.
Posters
they
used to be in the magazines, didn't they? Like there used to be have a folded poster in there.
Yes. Yeah. I had like a full length poster of Zac Efron on the back of my door. Like it was serious. It was. And you kind of wonder, like, why do we not do that anymore? You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to decorate my house like I want to. So like, and I'm a painter, so I've painted like, right now I'm working on our kind of playroom, dining room area, and I'm painting fruit on the walls because I think that's fun and cute for our girls to look at. And I know Willow, she woke up from her nap and I'd kind of had some done and she was like, oh, like looking at it, and I was like, yes, like if mom win, like I don't know. I just love stuff like that. So I think, I don't know.
No,
it's just, go ahead.
That's fun. I love that. But Willow did like that. I see all these things where people are like having pools that are fruit and stuff now. They're so cute. I love them. I can't figure out how the aesthetic would work in my house. Maybe I should just give all that stuff to Charlotte. Like, here, just have all this cute little girly frilly stuff that I want, but I can't because it doesn't mesh. Like I'm more into the modern aesthetic, kind of neutral. Like I'd like to have, I don't have any right now. We have pictures hanging and stuff, but they're pictures that John brought with him. Like I didn't have this before though, because they're just so expensive. Like
Right.
I'm a mom and I was just working to pretty much be occupied and not have to work my life away. Like, so I could feel like a stay-at-home mom on the days I had her, I wasn't working. And then, you know, and it covered the bills on the days that I did work.
Right.
I don't know. That it just worked for us. I gave my life to work, working 7, and I was, you know, doing pretty stinking well financially. And taxes came around, and I was like, oh, I just screwed myself because I got like nothing back. I had to pay in, and I was not like balling, you know what I mean? Like I was doing well, and we had like money saved to go and get our nails done. Like that was our bonding. That was working all the time. So that was our time, was going to get our nails done once we had that time together. But even then I was a zombie. Like I was exhausted, you know, shift and then going 7 days a week, like a zombie. But moms do what they have to do. That is one thing that always ring true. You know what I'm saying? We will show up, but it is best. And it might be harder for working moms to have a routine. That might have to like be a little bit more strategic about waking up at this time and being firm about it. And it takes Mondays to build a habit. So you don't give up. Like the first, it's like, oh man, I overslept or something. Like don't beat yourself up. Just set that same standard, same tone for the next day. Try it again. Keep trying until you finally get that firm routine going, especially as a working mom. Stay-at-home moms, you do have a little bit more freedom because it's like you're not on a fixed, you know, schedule. I have to be out the house at this time. I have to have the kids dressed, and every mom needs to give that time to themselves. Of I got my face wash today. I got to put my blush on, my mascara. Like that's all, you know, whatever makes you feel your best. And working moms, you would probably want to put your clothes out and stuff, like you were saying, those little tricks, clothes figured out, having your hairstyle figured out, just to go ahead and set yourself up for success. But you gotta give to yourself, because otherwise you don't show up as a mom no matter what. 'Cause you do, but you're not going to be the best version of yourself. And
for sure,
you want your kids to see somebody. Like my mom, she did not give to herself. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I was a kid, like I can remember her having the same pair of clothes for like 20 years, but she made sacrifices as a single mom to give me things rather than her. She didn't like do her makeup. She didn't really do her hair. Like she just kind of totally let herself go. She had no friends. It was her and I, and I didn't, like, I just think about that and I'm like, I love my mom. She's a great mom, role model, all the things. I just think that life as a parent is also supposed to be like, you're still a person and you matter. You don't have to wait until you're
for sure. It just makes you kind of wonder, like back in the day, moms were able to have a full-time job, also take care of the kids, also do everything they needed to do around the house. And they had, it seems like, you know, even like back in the 90s, like women had their crap together way more than we do now. But then I think about it and I'm like, yeah, but we're not making as much money as they were back then. You know, things are just not, I saw like a list of stuff and I'm just like, routines and stuff back in the day, even if we follow them down to a T now, I feel like we would be so exhausted and so just like overwhelmed that it's just too much. It's truthfully just too much. So I don't know, give yourself a little grace.
Just give yourself grace. Some people are super great with routines, and everybody's different, and you know, just try your best, make some simple list and just try to work it into your day. I think though, back like whenever I was a kid, I know my mom was a working full-time mom and always put together, like as a kid, I remember that. As a teenager, I had chores, you know, I had to do the dishes need to be done, this needed to be done. And I think that kids should have those chores, you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, like you gotta don't let adulthood bite them in the butt. Like that
Right. Yes.
too.
Well,
But like my girl out
mhm.
so
Oh yeah.
much. That's
Hmm.
I think now. Like, does your mom work? Your mom's a working mom, right? She's
Hmm.
grandma and all the things. That's what my mom works still. You know, she's not
Hmm.
anytime in the near future.
Right.
But parents, my grandma was, you know, that was a generation where the men worked. And then
Hmm.
that's a lot of steps back. And
Hmm.
aspects like some men still do the work and the women get to stay home with the kids. And that's the tone. But men expect women to take care of the house and work and
Hmm.
take care of it now. And that's how it was whenever our parents were raising us.
Hmm.
Like, and that's why there's so many failed marriages and stuff, I
Right.
think, because they get so burned out and they're like, you're not doing your job though. Like, you're going to work and then you come home and then you're not taking care of the kids or the house or doing this or that. And it's like, it's not fair. It's not
Hmm.
balancing. And,
Oh yeah.
but our grandparents were able to help out with the kids.
Hmm.
Our parents aren't, because
Right.
that generation, some of them did,
Hmm.
but a lot of them were like, okay, you need to work to the woman too. You know what I mean? So it's not,
Hmm.
I don't know. I think that helped them out a lot though.
Oh yeah.
Like my mom always had childcare. I don't always have childcare if I chose to go to work. Like I wouldn't always have childcare. I'd have to send my kid to daycare,
Right.
not just a family member.
Right. Well, and you have to be careful too, because daycares are unreliable and untrustworthy. And then you have family members that are the same way. And then you have friends who, you think are not the same way, but end up being the same way. It's just, you have to be very careful about like where you put your kid at.
Yeah.
And, staying at home is, see, and I think if you're a stay at home mother, you should get some kind of something
Mm-hmm.
throughout the month, because this is not an easy job. And I mean, I don't know. There's just not there's not enough trust in the world. And there's not enough trust that I have in the world to today, in today's time, to let my child go into daycare while I go work. Like
Well,
I just
daycare. Like let's just like not even have daycare institutions and pay
right,
them off instead.
right, right.
Pay them.
I mean, but there are some moms who don't want to stay at home, and I completely
Yeah,
get that too. I completely get that too. But, you know, I don't know. I think everybody's just different, it's just some works for some doesn't work for others.
yeah, I gotta have.
But
I mean, yeah, it's a balance. Everybody got their different non-negotiables. Some people, that's their
right.
non-negotiable. I need
Hmm.
to get out of the house. I need to be away from the kids for a little bit, and then I'm a better version of myself. And that's just
Right.
I'm
Hmm.
a girl. Like, let me tell you, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. I do, but this economy has me wanting to go to work.
It's a struggle, and I tell myself like, you know, it'll be okay, because she'll go into preschool, and that's a good thing now too, is that preschool is starting at age 4, and they're having preschools in actual like elementaries now. So I just think to myself, we can do this until Willow goes into school. It's only a couple more years, and then I'll have a job and whatnot, whatever. But it's just trying to get through those years. And I truly believe that if you don't worry about it and you really pray about it and you just give it to God, that He will take care of it. And I've been very lucky and very blessed so far. So that's the path that I'm going to keep going down.
Yeah.
I try not to stress and worry over things anymore, because it's just not worth it. It's just not.
It's
It
really
doesn't
not.
do anything.
Yeah, the bills are going to be there still. Like
Yes.
the money's going to go.
Yep.
Have fun. Take time to get memories, make memories with your kids, because like you were saying, you're waiting until Willow hits 4 so you can go to work. But
Mm-hmm.
you have to make sure, because in those her growing up to only be 4, and you still feel like you have a baby at that age still.
Right.
But now
Mm-hmm.
also growing up, and she's going to be 10 before you know it. So you have to also find a way to invest in those older kids.
Yep.
And make life, and it doesn't always take money to invest and make life memorable, but
Mm-hmm.
take sometimes, right? Like,
Well, I mean, everything you do has money. You know what I'm saying? Like
it does.
everything.
So,
Even if you don't think that it's, you have something laying around your house that you can do. Like we have a bunch of art projects I have in like a container.
mm-hmm.
But I mean, all of that stuff costs money. And then you have to put stuff into it, you know, and that costs money. I mean, everything costs money nowadays. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know.
I know.
It's just,
That's what I say. Just the bills are going to be there.
yes.
Pray
Yeah.
God, and whenever you have money or the funds, like a year from now, your situation is going to be so much different. That's what I tell myself. That's what gets me through. Like a year from now, I know how much life has changed in a year prior to this. So a year from now, it could be substantially different. Like ways that I can't even imagine, because God has a plan and a timing that I can't
for
see.
sure.
And Charlotte says
For sure.
comment how she wishes that she knew the future, because I don't know. I think she's seen something out there talking about the past and the future and stuff. And so that's been a topic. And I'm like, but really, do you? Because how boring would life be if you knew exactly what was going to happen? It was going to happen. Like, you wouldn't appreciate anything. Like, it's the beauty in the unknown of where your life direction. And ultimately, it's going to all work out some way, somehow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I truly believe that too. I think everything is supposed to happen for a reason. Same with people who come in and out of your life. They come in and out for reasons. And some are here for seasons and some are here for, you know, long term, and that's okay too. But yeah, it's just, it's not worth stressing over. And your kids are not going to look back at their childhood and think, oh, my parents didn't have enough money for this. They're going to look and see, oh, my parents were there.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, as long as you're showing up for your kids in just the only way that you know how to, the only way that you mentally can, that's all that matters, because that's all they want. It's just you. They don't want the money. They don't have to have the money. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to have, you know, everything under the sun. They just need you. And as long as you can, you know, sit down and play cards with them, or sit down and draw a picture with them, or
whatever it is, right?
Yeah, go make some pancakes with them. Let them crack some eggs, you know. That's the kind of stuff that they're going to look back on. They're not going to remember financial struggles.
No,
they just won't.
I don't remember my financial struggles.
No.
I don't. And you're right. They're not going to. I think it's parents who put that that expectation on ourselves.
Well, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Them have the best. It's us who does that. So it's not the kids. The kids don't. They just want you there.
Yeah.
So make time there however you can. Hi, he took a nap.
Oh, I thought he was being quiet.
He was fussy because he was nappy. So he took that. Now he's just looking at me. Let me show you.
Hi.
He's happy.
So cute.
It gets us through where I feel like just winging the days. And I would just leave this off with people who are trying to have a routine, but you don't know where to start. You know, like we said, list in your non-negotiables, but also if you have older kids, I like ask Charlotte what she wants to do for the day. Like today she wants to go to the pool. So we'll spend an hour out there, and that's like the one thing she gets to choose that we're going to do for the day. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to go crazy and be like, okay, we're going to hit the pool, park up. Like, don't go crazy with yourself. Just have like one thing you know you're going to do for the day. At some point, if you have before 4 o'clock, place closes or whatever, then make it there. And then the rest of the of breathe, you know, like you can do however you need to do, whenever you need to, on whatever time frame. And then bedtime's a pretty good routine though. Babies like routine in that aspect. They're going to start getting fussy. This little guy will start to get so fussy if he is not in bed by 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is bedtime. And he expects that. And if not, and mom's not there and able to be hanging out and laying with him, then you're going to know, because it's going to be right.
Yeah. Well, and also, if you don't know where to even start with, you know, having your routine, I know that Pinterest, TikTok, I mean, you can even search it on Google, just outlines of what you're like. And I know there was one, it was by age of like what your child's routine should be like. And they have that with a chore list too, where they have chores by ages. So definitely look on social media and online to see just a broad outline, and then you can plug in your different things that you do throughout the day or that you want to have done and go from there. because, you know, everybody needs a little bit of help.
Yeah.
Why not take advantage of it? It's there for free.
No, I love it. I love going by a diagram and
Yes.
having that. Yeah, it gets your mind flowing.
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes Pinterest she's extra Betty and she's like showing up and she's impressive. And I'm like, how are you doing all this?
Yes.
How are you able
Yes.
to do all this? But that's a super great way to look there, or even just sit there and like make a Venn diagram. I've never done this before, but for some reason the idea just popped in my head. Like make a Venn diagram and like, okay, this is for me, you know, like my time. What do I want to do for my time? Like personal growth. What do I need to grow in? Am I wanting to work on my health? And then just jot down like maybe getting 10K steps in. How are you going to get those 10K steps in? I'm going to take a 30-minute walk. When do I have a window for a 30-minute walk? And then with kids learning, so I need to start working on Charlotte with her numbers, because we've kind of been slacking early on in the summer, right? We've just been having fun. We've had a new
Right.
pool. We need to we need to tuck her down, huh?
I'm literally on my math book.
Oh, she's in her math book right now. You know, we need to have one-on-one time with each other. So I know that our non-negotiable is we're going to start writing our numbers and counting together and, you know, 30 minutes a day. Yeah, I'm listening to you. Good job. And yeah, so maybe that's a good way too. Like just kind of, this is like thing, you know, it's not, and this is what I'm going to do. This is my non-negotiable. Because some people might not even know what their non-negotiable is.
Right.
It's kind of like you're choosing a aspect of your life, health, kids, all the things, and then just kind of brainstorming. I don't know. Maybe some fun ways. I've never done it before, but it did just kind of pop into my head. And I was like, let me show this.
Sometimes just getting a notebook and sitting down with a pencil is the best way to get stuff done.
Yes. Spend time with yourself, learn yourself, learn what you got to do, learn what makes you feel your best. And because as a mom, you forget, you lose yourself and you totally forget.
Yes. And it's easy to do it.
It is. I totally lost myself with Charlotte for 2 years. I didn't find myself again until I was a single woman. And then I found myself because I was alone every other, you know, whenever I was there.
You were forced to.
Yeah. It's a journey. It is. It all happened for a reason.
Very true.
It all happened for a reason. So, all right. I think that's it for this episode. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I think so too. So this was episode 3 of the Oh Shit Mom podcast. And we will see y'all next week. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but I guess we'll figure it out. And
people can feel free to hop down in the comments.
Yes.
Too. Let us know some things that you're struggling with. Or
yeah. Anything that y'all want us to talk about or want us to touch on. I would like to get some people in with some stories too, if they want, and we can share them on here if you would like that too. Yeah, definitely. Y'all just inbox us and let us know what y'all want to see.
For sure.
All right.
It was so fun hanging out.
You too. And I guess we'll see y'all later. Do you want to do our, I don't know, it's not our intro, it's our outro, I guess.
Yeah. I'm Tay.
I'm Kay.
And this has
been the Oh Shit Mom podcast.
Bye,
we'll see y'all next time. Bye.